So the medial surface of the cerebrum shows these features. One of the largest features that is located and visible on the medial surface of the cerebral hemisphere is called corpus callosum. Corpus callosum is one of the largest commissure fibers in the white matter of the cerebrum, connecting the two cerebral hemispheres with each other. Just above the corpus callosum lies a sulcus called callosal sulcus. And further above the callosal sulcus, we have a gyrus called cingulate gyrus. Further above the cingulate gyrus, we have another sulcus which is labeled as cingulate sulcus. So that means cingulate gyrus lies between the cingulate sulcus above and callosal sulcus below. Over the undersurface of the almost posterior aspect or end of the corpus callosum lies the fornix, which is a very important nerve fiber bundle that is a very important pathway for the limbic system. And then above the cingulate sulcus, an area comprising of precentral gyrus, postcentral gyrus, and in between the two central sulcus. This area is labeled as paracentral lobule. Now, the part of the cerebral cortex that lies between the parieto-occipital sulcus posteriorly and the posterior end of the cingulate sulcus is called precuneus. And the part of cerebral cortex that lies between the parieto-occipital sulcus and the calcarine sulcus is labeled as cuneus. So here we have the inferior surface of the cerebrum. So let's start with the features that lie on the inferior surface of the frontal lobe. On the frontal lobe, near the midline, we have a gyrus, which is called the Gyrus Rectus. Lateral to this gyrus, we have a sulcus, which lodges the olfactory bulb and tract, and in association to its content, it is labeled as olfactory sulcus. Further lateral to olfactory sulcus is the orbital surface of the frontal lobe, comprising of orbital gyri. So there are more than one orbital gyri, and we include the medial, anterior, posterior, and lateral orbital gyri. Further moving on to the inferior surface of the cerebrum, what other features do we see? We see a collateral sulcus. Collateral sulcus on the inferior surface of the cerebrum is a very important hallmark. Keeping this sulcus in mind, the gyrus that lies medial to the collateral sulcus, hence between the collateral sulcus laterally and calcarine sulcus medially, the gyrus we have is the lingual gyrus. This lingual gyrus anteriorly becomes continuous with the parahippocampal gyrus. This parahippocampal gyrus has the anterior-most end in the form of a hook called uncus of the parahippocampal gyrus. This uncus is separated from the temporal lobe laterally with the help of another sulcus, which is called the rhinal sulcus. So above we have the rhinal sulcus, and posteriorly and behind we have the collateral sulcus. So the gyrus that lies between the collateral sulcus जी बेटा मेरी आवाज आ रही है? Am I back? ओके बेटे, चलें जी.